Katrina, we can take this chart up and let's see. I'll just make you a panelist so that we can have the chart. It will be a good exercise. Anybody else also, if they have chart where they think that this BSP not working, we can take it.
Yeah, in my case too. I don't think it's working.
Okay, we'll take the chart. Hi, Katrina.
Yeah, how
Hello.
to show the chart?
Okay, so you have it ready. I'll give you the.
Share the screen.
Yes. Can you do that, or you don't want to share your screen? Then you can share the details.
Is
Okay.
my screen on
Yes,
display now?
yes, we can see that. Yeah.
Ah, okay, okay. So,
So you're talking about the 47th year or the 52nd year?
47th and then 52nd.
Second also, obviously, both the years.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So according to you, no event related to Venus happened in the 47th or the 42nd year.
Yes, yes. I know the person closely. It's a close relative to mine.
Any long distance travel for the
No,
native where there
not at
were
all.
where any breaks, there were no breaks, no residence changes.
No. She's been living in one place
So there were no
for her
travels in
life.
both the years.
No journeys.
There were no travels in both the years, right?
No.
Okay.
Travels, no. Yes, no change in residence.
Job related events, career.
No.
There were no
She's
career
a
related
librarian,
events.
works at the same place. No.
The events were little earlier than the 47th year. In the 46th year or 48th year, something happened.
Yes,
Similar events.
The event were actually, this is January 1998 to January 1999, and the event started in the next year from January 1999 to January 2000. Yeah.
Okay, so the event happened a few days later than, I mean, after the birthday, right?
At the end of 1999. So
at the end of 1999, that means that
this period finishes in January 1999, and the events are at October, November 1999. So
okay, so that is quite a difference.
Yes. And for the 52nd year also, the events are after maybe 5 or 6 months after.
So either some event we are missing, or either you haven't checked about those events, the native 9th events related to father, related to guru, or something. No events related to anybody.
Father died many years ago. No. Gurus, no gurus.
Pilgrimages. Okay, when there was no travel, so no pilgrimage also.
No travels, no pilgrimages. The only thing that I can think of all the meanings of the ninth house, this is the higher knowledge. But this woman has been reading this kind of books, and she's also learning astrology. But not exactly at that period. I mean, she started before that. Maybe she has intensified a little bit her astrological studies, but
So have you checked that with the native that if that was the case?
yes, I asked her what were you doing during that time. She said, well, I was reading more intensively that kind of astrology books.
In that particular year, she started
Yes,
doing it.
yes, but
So
she started.
that is an event because we can clearly see it. That is why I said pilgrimage or guru. When I said guru, that means some divine knowledge may have been there because ninth house is Sagittarius, ninth house of higher knowledge. The Lord is going to 12th house with Moon, which is the fourth Lord of education. Pisces sign, which is a spiritual sign. 12th house, which is a spiritual science or mystic sciences. And
Yeah, so
we can also see that Venus deposits Mars, which is the eighth lord also here. So it will always carry the energies more so because Jupiter is also being aspected by retrograde Saturn here. Saturn is old,
yes. Uh-huh.
so it is a divine old knowledge here.
So yeah, maybe
See,
this is
Ketu is also aspecting that Venus. Ketu is also
ah,
representing linguistic
yes,
sciences from fifth house of education.
yes, in this mystic, yes, this astrology.
Yes.
Hmm.
So
Yes, maybe this could be real.
what subject was she studying in that particular or started any new, even in astrology you have lot of branches, so was there any new branch she picked up in that particular year or what she was doing? Please ask her about that. If you already know, you can share.
Yes, yes. Well, she's a Western astrologer,
Hmm.
but I don't know any new branches. She just intensifies her studies.
Okay,
I mean,
so that can
reads
be
a
seen.
lot, practices a lot. Yes.
That can be seen, or she probably started looking at charts of people in that particular year, or she was doing it before? Oh man, I guess she must have been doing
Uh,
it before.
yes. Maybe she started. She
So
just
majorly ninth house events has happened then. Even the
yes, yes.
intensifying, even if a person who is doing it regularly, but a particular thing has intensified in a particular year, then that means that house effects is coming into the picture. And what happened in
Yeah.
52nd year again then?
What happened when?
In the 52nd year, this happened in 47th year, right?
Yes, yes, yes. In
And
the
hmm,
52nd, actually, it was January 2003. Let me see. Yes, January 2003 till January
okay,
2004.
okay.
And in June 2004, 6 months later, she got a granddaughter. A granddaughter was born.
Hmm.
So,
See,
yes,
granddaughter
during
was
the
born,
period
but
her daughter got pregnant. Yes, her
yeah,
daughter got
so
pregnant,
you
but
got the
her
promise in you got the promise in that the year itself, right? In the
yes,
said
the
year, when the
promise.
promise came in that year itself that the event will happen, obviously you can see that Saturn is 21 degree and Jupiter, which is the ninth lord, is 16 degree. Saturn is retrograde, coming back towards Jupiter. It is not a separative aspect. So
Hmm.
Saturn means delay.
Maybe Saturn is delayed.
So what happened? The promise came into because what would have happened if Saturn would have been expecting it? The conception may have happened in the beginning of the year itself, so that the event also happened in that year. I mean, in the said year before January. But because of Saturn thing, the event came in the next year, but the promise of it came within that year also. So
I see. So
now both
it's
the events
interesting.
can be seen. So I guess the picture is clear.
Yes, yes, I see. I
Also,
See,
see.
if
obviously, see,
I can
you know the nativity, you know the person, you know the background, you are able to predict it clearly because you know the native.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
but if we
If you
Yes.
don't know the native, obviously it's always better to just have a quick chat with the native before looking towards the chart. Just normal chat,
Mhm.
knowing your native background, cultural things, family values, and the current circumstances in life. Just a quick informal chat, and then you can always go into the chart, and you will be a little more precise and clear about, okay, these kind of event can happen.
Yeah, I see.
We have questions.
Actually, I have a question for Ekaterina.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
So it could be, did this woman, did she have a relationship in the 47th or 52nd year?
No
We have
relationships.
already
No.
checked all that things, because that is quite apparent. Seventh lord, because Venus is the seventh lord. That was so. When she said that no event happened, it immediately came to
No.
my mind, because she's studying here. Basics are clear. Everybody would have predicted that seventh lord going to ninth house, or something related to marriage or legality
I,
of marriage may have
no,
happened.
I think,
No relationships. Yeah.
but possibly of a sacred relationship, because see, the ninth house dispositor Jupiter has gone in the 12th house, and
Yeah,
also
I know,
Rahu
but
has seventh
yeah,
house.
she would say that to me. I mean, she's a conservative and would say if
Okay.
she had a relationship. No, for sure, no.
And
See,
then the other
when
one is experience an increase in income because Venus also rules the second house.
No. She's a no. She has she's a librarian. She works in a library. It's a government job. Very low money. No increase in salary. No, no.
second house is also accumulated knowledge.
Mhm.
And when we know the native, if the native is into astrology studies and these kind of house and BSPs gets activated, you can always predict some great advancement in that particular year. If you know that
Mhm.
person is in astrology, obviously, but there will be particular years in life when you will have great advances, particularly if eighth house either BCP runs or a BSP that is particularly related to all these houses happens. So there will be great advances along with the other events.
Maybe if she started doing some consultations, astrology consultations, maybe she got some little money from it. I don't know. Yeah, it
You
could
can
be
always
some
check,
kind.
always check. I mean, that may have happened,
Yes,
because I
yes.
also asked you that did she start, or was she doing paid readings, or she was looking into charts and predicting to others, because second house is also a house of speech.
Yes, maybe she has started doing this. Yes. Could
Mostly
be
it's a
also.
Sagittarius sign, so related to religion, higher knowledge is always, when you know the native, it is pretty easy to predict, because it
Yes,
is
yes.
not always the mundane life events that are significant. For all of
Mm-hmm.
us who are right now present here, uh, if somebody looks at our chart and says, you started astrology in this particular, it's an important event for us. It's an important event. It may not be an important event for somebody who's not into astrology, but for us it is an important event, because it's changed our life
Yes,
completely.
yes, yes.
So it's an important event, and the particular year when we made great advancements in astrology and we learned a lot of things, we will always remember that year. That was a great year for us. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess now the 47th and the 52nd year is pretty clear to us, and the Venus was doing good stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
Umesh, should we take your chart now?
Let me think about it because I want to think about the events that happened.
Okay,
That's
great,
fine.
great. No worries. If you have any problems, you can always post the chart in the Facebook group, and
Okay.
we can check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, any other questions, or anybody else where they feel that the technique is not working, and we should take up the chart? I'm all ears to you. Thank you, Ekaterina. You showed us a great chart, and we learned a lot through it. Thank you very much. Sirisha says anything to do with fortune. fortune, it's Bhagya. Obviously, learning sacred knowledge like astrology, it's a very fortunate event. And if she may have started paid readings or made great advances in astrology, that is a fortune. That is a basically a Bhagya Uday, or you can say that uh, fortune. There was a rise in fortune for all of us who are into astrology here. In a particular year, if we learn, for example, this year, this course is being conducted, which has not been done up till now. So we'll always remember it as a great year because we learned a lot of Bhrigu astrology, which is, you are the probably the first few guys in the world who is getting this course. So you are fortunate in that matter. I personally never got this kind of presentations and all these examples. I generally only got just a tip. Okay, this year this happened over a phone, and I have to uh, work hard, look into charts, and just check myself. Nobody to give me answers because Sunil doesn't have that much time he can devote. So I feel sometimes feel jealous of you guys that you get it, you're getting it more organized in a more organized way. So if we if we don't have any questions, then yes, Sirisha, obviously. I was mentioning to Sunil the other day that uh, probably the first batches of Russian and this international batch, they are probably very lucky people. There are only very few people in the world who knows about Bhrigu astrology, and just knowing, not just knowing the techniques or how it functions, that is a major privilege for an astrologer. And probably we are lucky to be associated with it, for because just because it is so ancient, it is even ancient than the Prashara or the Gemini. It is even the knowledge is, you can time it even before them. And I personally feel very lucky to be associated with Bhrigu. I may have done some good karmas in my past life, so that I'm learning this, all these techniques, or this astrology, the Bhrigu astrology, and then implementing in my life and changing myself to become a better human being.
Yuvraj, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah. Um, I want to ask a question about this method, pending karma, because it happens to be the most difficult method to apply.
Obviously, it is it is the most difficult method ever
Yes, and
in astrology.
I've read all the examples that the other people in the group posted, but I have a question. They usually describe some of the events that happened in the person's life, but what should we see from this sixth house? The events that actually happened, or how can we know that we actually going on the right way? I mean, this pending karma that we are actually realizing. I mean,
pending karma. I'll give you the example. I got your point. Pending karma is basically
the woman that we've seen. I have tried to explain the pending karma and I failed. I mean,
see, what is basically pending karma? Pending karma is, it can be good or bad. Sometimes people think pending karma is only bad. That is not the case. Secondly, pending karma is nothing but a certain event will happen in your life that you have to repay, or you have to gain out of it something, because you have a certain bad karma or a good karma. And pending karma are non-alterable. There can no remedy can help you in. those karmas. You feel binded towards it. That can be lifelong karma. For example, I was just doing a BTR for a guy, and j- quite amazed people today have started asking their pending karmas. That's very ironical, because generally you don't find people asking such questions, because that is not related to mundane life. But maybe Sunil's effort has paid off, and people are now open to listen to all that, and they want to know it. So while I was doing the BTR, after the BTR was done, he has a polite question, that what do you see my pending karma is in my life? And I still remember the chart. More so, it generally depends on the intuition of the astrologer, because a house can signify many things. What I may or may not remember the exact chart, but the combinations I clearly see. I saw that the sixth lord. See, for second thing is there are multiple techniques to find the pending karma. What you have been taught is one of the techniques. You in the future lecture you will also get the another technique, and there are multiple techniques. You have to combine all the techniques, only then you will be able to reach the pending karma. So in that particular chart, uh, I predicted to him for the pending karma. I predicted for in this life, you have been uh, the family has been the major your pending karma. You had to support them financially, and just because of that, you also didn't marry quite early in life. You delayed your marriage so that you can uh, handle your family and the finances, because you were not well to do, and you had to suffer a lot, and this is your pending karma which you have to do till your end of your life. And he said you will bang on, right, word by word. That is what happened in that native's life. The elder sister got married, and then she got widowed, and she came back into the house, and again he had to manage the finances for the sister as well. And he has been supporting his family, his siblings financially, and he delayed his marriage even till 35th year, just because of the same reason. So in India it's quite late. More so from the cultural background he was from a South Indian family. So he said bang on. That is the pending karma. Pending karma will always keep you you will feel you are binded to that thing. Neither you can take it in, neither you can take it out. You just can't change it somehow or the other. You feel binded, absolutely binded. So he was lucky that I was able to predict. I will not be able to predict it correctly, probably uh, 4 or 5 times out of 10 times. But that generally also depends on the native, if he is destined to receive that uh, reading of pending karma now or not. But most of the time, I was able to predict it. I mean, people generally used to think, because I know 10 techniques of finding pending karma, and you probably right now know one. So it was fairly easier for me to decipher that. And probably you will learn few more techniques in the lectures to come, and then it will be a little more clearer to you to find the pending karma. Because I am telling you, it is the most difficult thing to predict in a chart. When after knowing all that, I feel marriage, childbirth, career, it's fairly simple to predict. Fairly simple to predict. Because if that marriage is not related to pending karma, it will probably happen in a proper way. And of course, we will be starting a course on timing of marriage very soon. Uh, but generally, pending karma is the most. It should be the most difficult. It should be the most difficult thing to predict.
And you said that if we see more factors like if the sixth house has Saturn or retrograde planets on Rahu Ketu axis, this intensifies it. I mean, the pending
Obviously,
karma is
obviously that
so which also
intensifies.
these factors.
That
Uh-huh.
intensifies. If sixth lord is also retrograde, eighth lord is retrograde, 12th lord is retrograde, then obviously all these houses are that got posited into sixth house. Then what you will do? You have retrograde planets in sixth house, or sixth lord is retrograde. So that intensifies the pending karma, and you have to struggle a lot, slog a lot to complete it. And generally, we have seen that it is a lifelong pending karma. Generally, what happens if there is a, for example, if there is a pending karma towards first marriage, and after the divorce, the pending karma gets over, and you are then relieved of the problems, and then you can move forward in life, and you can go forward towards the other pending karmas you have. Obviously, till the time you don't get all your pending karmas over, you're not going anywhere. You have to take them here, and we have seen there is no remedy that works for them. No remedies at all. You have to hear it. So more planets in sixth house, more malefic planets getting involved, it makes it more chronic.
Mhm.
So any other questions? Yes, of course, Sirisha. Sirisha says pending karma events are all like facing a wall, no intellectual thinking. Sirisha also says meditation helps big time. Yes, meditation will help. Meditation will help in a way that you are more attuned to your surroundings. You become more strong to face what the pending karma has to give you. If there is some problem, you will be able to, because you're mentally strong to handle it. That's it. So if there are no questions related to this technique or the any of the technique we have studied up to now, uh, yes, Gene. No, the pending karma is not always for the entire life. It completely depends on the chart. Can it end in old age? Generally depends. If the one of the pending karma of a native was towards the first marriage, that it will fail and there will be problems. Then as soon as that marriage is over, the pending karma is over, he'll move on to the next pending karma in life. And sometimes it's a lifelong event. Sometimes uh, it becomes more chronic. Chronic in the sense it will stay with you throughout your life. Uh, More so when the sixth lord becomes retrograde, and there are other factors also involved in it. See, right now you are asking all these questions just because you only you just know one technique. We'll share you more techniques about the pending karma, then you will be in a better picture to ask the questions regarding the pending karma techniques, which obviously we will be sharing with you. It's always already planned, and we'll be taking it in the next few lectures. Helen, okay, thank you, Jean. Helen is saying, so pending karma is not necessarily like condition by dashas. See, the transit and dashas always activates events. So, for example, I know a particular native, uh, Jupiter retrograde in seventh house, if I'm not wrong, Rahu in third house, Aries, Mesh Lagna, Aries Lagna. Uh, in Rahu Jupiter, he got divorced, and he entered the astrology. He started learning astrology. Jupiter becomes the ninth lord, it's retrograde. It also becomes the 12th lord. If I remember the chart right, the sixth lord Mercury is sitting in 12th house. So Jupiter also becomes the depositor of sixth lord. So if we see the pattern, sixth house of ending karma, sixth lord going to 12th house, 12th lord, sixth house, sixth lord is debilitated there. And the 12th lord coming to 7th house, Libra. And Rahu Jupiter was running. Third house is, by the way, third house is also a house for unlocking of karma. Sunil may have told you many times about that. Third house is also the house of unlocking of karma. So Rahu is sitting in third house. It is Gemini, of course. So Mercury is the lord. Mercury is also the sixth lord, which is going to 12th house, and the 12th lord in seventh house. So he was married in Rahu, and in Rahu Jupiter. As soon as the Rahu Jupiter was just about to start, just few days back, separation happened, and the divorce happened in Rahu Jupiter, and he also entered astrology. In the chart, there was combination of learning good astrology, and there was a pending karma towards astrology and also towards the marriage. So the marriage, he got divorced, and the astrology got activated. As soon as he got separated, within few days, he picked up the first book of astrology. So you can see how the event activated the other pending karma. Both were pending karmas, but the activation happened with the marriage, or you can say separation. He was probably married for just, I guess, 1 year or maybe 11 months. He was just married for that, uh, uh, for just few months, and the separation happened, and he entered astrology, and then he's doing good in astrology. But the pending karma activating the other pending karma. So both were interlinked, and that event completely changed his life. Though he went on to uh, he got the mutual divorce later on, and there was no issues, no fights in the divorce. But he got majorly into astrology in that period, and he's doing good in that. So the pending karma activating the other pending karma, the event. So it is always activation, and I have just told you how the Dasha pattern did that. And if I remember the transit right, because he told Rahu was transiting at that point in time in Scorpio, and Jupiter was probably in Lagna. It was 6-8 position between Jupiter and Rahu in transit. So Rahu, the Madasha Lord in Scorpio in 8th house, and Jupiter in Lagna in Aries. At that point in time, the separation happened, the divorce happened, and he also started learning astrology and quickly made very quick advances, because probably we can see in his chart that he has done it for many past lifetimes, the astrology, and that is why he was making great advances very quickly. So that is sometimes how karma gets unfolded. Events are interlinked with each other. Each event happens and it unlocks the other pending karma for its life. So sometimes it is not about the complete life, it's about particular event related with particular event.
So, Yuvraj, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, in this example that you just mentioned, so transiting Jupiter was in his Lagna, right?
Mm.
It was aspecting his seventh house. So, still it was not able to protect the marriage.
See,
and when does
mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Jupiter that is aspecting the seventh house, when does it end up in breaking a marriage, and when does it protect the marriage, or when does the person get married also?
See, first you have to check the yogs in the chart. For example, if there is a yog that he will have multiple marriages, or the first marriage has to break, even if Jupiter is protecting it, because I told you the chart, Jupiter was retrograde in seventh house. Jupiter itself is saying that I'll break the marriage. So even transit Jupiter, aspecting the natal Jupiter, it is activating that event. And what protection it gave, he didn't have to suffer, because you know how chronic divorce cases can become. There was a mutual without any fight. Even in court, the girl and the boy went alone. There was nobody from the family side who went to court. Quickly, they were standing, they were talking to each other, and but quite mutual and peaceful divorce. That Jupiter gave it, because the marriage had to activate astrology. Astrology was the major pending karma in the chart, along with the marriage, but because it ended quite quickly without any chronic problems, so that was probably a little softer pending karma. But because we know that the native has been continuing in making great advances in astrology, then probably we may feel that the astrology, learning astrology was major pending karma for him, which got activated with that separation. Rahu, the Mahadasha Lord was in 8th house. And more so, you can easily see Rahu and Jupiter in transit, who are the Dasha and the Bhukti Lord, were in 6-8 position from each other. Cannot ignore that.
So in that case, if Jupiter in the natal chart was not retrograde, there would not have been a divorce?
No, it completely depends. See, Jupiter in that we are talking about that particular chart, so we can only comment about that. Jupiter was retrograde and is also dispositor of 6th lord. That is significant. It is also the 12th lord, apart from being the
Right.
9th lord. So it will also bring 12th house effects into picture. Not only in the 9th lord, but obviously, even if Jupiter being a 9th lord retrograde in 7th house, if other factors combine, that is a classical yoga for multiple marriages. And Jupiter in 7th house is, I mean, not considered too good until and unless there is a benefic aspect or the Lord is fortified, brings problems.
Okay.
So, I hope I have, yes, Sirisha, this whole life is itself a big pending karma event. That is why we are born to resolve it. Yes, of course. I mean, every planet is placed in the birth chart is a pending karma in itself. That is why we are getting all the events, all the BSPs, the bringing bad or good events. We are here to uh, enjoy our good fruits as well as the bad fruits. So, but specific how to go about, how to go into specifics of finding what major pending karma we have, then obviously these techniques, multiple techniques may point out to something. And when then we can work towards them, resolving them. And uh, see, a person who does not know the pending karma is ignorant and he make mistakes. I mean, the Almighty can still be little kind to him, but a person who knows his pending karma and still doesn't improve, then that's a major mistake he'll make. So, knowing the pending karma can also become a bad event if you don't change yourself, or if you don't uh, take the events which are, even if it's negative as your pending karma, you don't take it with a smiling face and repenting for it, feeling sorry for whatever you have done in the past life. Past life astrology is not really easy. I mean, still it is little more difficult than even finding pending karmas. Multiple techniques for that.